Hey, what's up, ladies? Happy Labor Day. I hope you have been enjoying your weekend so far and you're enjoying this Monday, the beginning of the week, and hopefully you're off to a nice, peaceful start. But I wanted to hop on real quick just to encourage you with a little something that God was encouraging me with. And honestly, it's something He's been saying to me for a while now, but today I feel like it finally clicked. So lately, God has been saying to me, Kayla, don't call a thing prematurely. Don't name something a failure before it's time, because you don't know if it's a failure or not, since you don't see the full picture yet. And He kept saying to me, even failure is not failure to me. And when He said this, it sounds great and I'm holding on to His word, but I'm like, sometimes you see situations or things that God has asked of you and you don't know what to make of them, because at the moment it looks like failure. At the moment it looks like, the people you thought would support you aren't supporting you. Your efforts were in vain. It looks all bad, right? But God is saying to you, even today, even now, in the middle of your situation, in the middle of your obedience, and you're in the middle of doing the very thing that God is calling you to do that doesn't look like what He said yet, do not call a thing prematurely. Even failure is not failure to God. What He's called you to do and the timing that He's called you to do it, with the people that He's called to be a part of it, it's enough. It's more than enough. The time you have is more than enough. Your resources are more than enough. God does not fail. He will not fail you. Do not, call a thing prematurely or call something failure, because then you have to eat those words. Oftentimes God tells us in our word, our tongue has the power to speak life and death, right? And basically the words you speak, you will eat. So you have to be mindful of that. You have to be mindful of what you speak over yourself, what you speak over your body, what you speak over the assignments that God has entrusted to you. Do not call a thing failure. You do not know what failure is, because the Father is the only one who can see the full circle. He's the only one who sees the end from the beginning, But the beauty of this is we get to ask our Father, we get to come to Him with that childlike faith and, ask Him, Lord, I can't see the full picture yet. I don't see all of what you're doing yet. Can you show me? Maybe you can't show me all of it, or it's not time for me to see everything, but can you show me something so that I see your hand in the situation? Ask Him. He will show you. He will show you, and He will give you exactly what you need to continue walking in the promises and walking in obedience and walking in the assignments that God has called you to. He will give you the fresh wind that you need. He will give it to you. Just ask. He does not rebuke us for asking. When we need wisdom, we ask Him. It tells us in His word we can ask. And the other thing is, we don't have to worry about not being able to understand what God is telling us, or understand the thing that He's calling us to, or why a situation may look the way it looks, right? We don't have to worry that we won't be able to understand, because the Bible also tells us that we have the mind of Christ, right? We have the mind of Christ, and His Spirit lives inside us. So if His Spirit lives inside us, then we can know, the things that God has planned for us. And it says this here. I had the verse up earlier. Let me see. I might have switched it over, y'all, but because I wanted to read it to you guys. Let me see. I think it was in 1 Corinthians. I should have pulled this up before I started recording, but here we are. Where are you at? Okay. I'm getting closer, y'all. 1 Corinthians. I think I found it. Okay, so it's in 1 Corinthians, the 2nd chapter, right? And I'm going to read verse 9 through 13, I think. But anyway, starting at verse 9, this is what it says, right? But as it is written, eye has not seen, nor ear heard, neither has entered into the hearts of man the things which God has prepared for them that love Him. But God has revealed them unto us by His Spirit. For the Spirit searches all things, yes, the deep things of God. For what man knows the things of a man, save the spirit of the man which is in him? Even so, the things of God know no man, but the Spirit of God. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit which is of God, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of God, which things also we speak not in the words which man's wisdom teaches, but which the Holy Ghost teaches, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. This verse says it all. Oftentimes you hear verse 9 that, it's written that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither have entered into the hearts of man the things which God has prepared for them who love him. But if you look at verse 10, it says, but God has revealed them to us. So when you have questions about the assignments that God has placed in your hands, when you have questions about what it's supposed to look like, or what's God's vision for your life, or for the things that he has called you to do, or even who he has called you to be, when you have questions, on what purpose God has for you to serve in this season, bring your questions to God, because he's telling you that he will reveal them to us. He will reveal them to you, because we have the Spirit of God living inside us. We have his Spirit. So he will freely tell us all things that we ask. Now, the thing is, it may be in not in the timing that we would want. Maybe we want to know something now, and God's like, this is for you to know a month from now or a year from now. Rest in his timing, but don't be afraid to ask. Ask him for the wisdom. Ask him to give you clarity on it. But in the meantime, don't deem a thing a failure if God hasn't said that. Be mindful of your words and not calling things prematurely, because God is the one who has the final say. He's the one that sees your full picture, your full story. He's the one that brings it all together to make it work for your good. He's the one. And if you come to him, just come to him and ask him. He will reveal to you all things by his Spirit. I pray that this encourages you today on this Labor Day as you're relaxing. Maybe you're gearing up and getting ready for work the next day. Wherever you may find yourself, maybe you're cooking out, having a good old time. Wherever this message finds you, I pray that it encourages you to know that, God has the best in store for you, and he will make it known to you. He will make it known to you. And don't get discouraged when things look like a failure, or they look, undone, or like, just not what you had in mind. Don't get discouraged, because God has the ultimate picture in mind, and it's going to be for your good. It's going to be to make sure you are well off, because we are his children. You are his daughter. Really soak in that, really rest in that today, But again, I just had to share this with you guys because it really blessed me as God was showing this to me and just, making it known to me. And I know somebody else needs to hear this. So I love you guys, and I pray that you're having the best day. Remember, there is no Zoom this Thursday. I'll just be popping in the Geneva app to kind of stay in touch with you guys. And I'll be sending out emails to let you know when we resume for the following week. But anyways, I will talk to you guys soon. All right. Bye.